Hello and welcome. So the goal for today is to get hot water to the cabin. Last video I hung the water heater and I did a little bit of plumbing to it. So if you want to get caught up, I'll put a link to that. And then, alright, let's get started. I got a little visitor here today that just showed up. I'll show you guys. Come here. Hey. Hey. Crashing my video? Yeah, I don't know this, I don't know whose dog this is. I think I might know where he came from. He's very friendly. He doesn't have a tag or a collar or anything, but I'm gonna take a ride down the hill and go to who I think he belongs to, and I'll keep you guys updated. He's very friendly. Alright, back to the scene of the crime. Mess is just how I left it. And here's the water heater. That's what I did so far. And I think the first thing we'll do is work on the venting. Okay, so the plan is to go up with both of these and turn. A couple things in the instructions. One is it specifically says not to solvent weld these joints in case it needs to be worked on. And the other thing it says is to run the vent pipes parallel to each other if possible. So we're going to do both of those things, or not do one and do the other like it says. So then we're going to go right out here, and then we'll deal with the outside. There's some rules on how close the outside entry and exit can be, so we'll talk about those when we get outside. Alright, we're going to go for a very minor downhill with this exhaust pipe. So guy right there. A little bit of a drop per foot, maybe a quarter to a half-inch drop per foot, just in case any condensate in that line just sticks there. It will drain out the right direction. We're getting there. This thing is big and slow. Probably dull. I don't even know where I got it. We're through. Wow, it actually, see that? Actually cut through that pretty well. So, like that. Oh, that needs a, you gotta be kidding me. That's okay, I need a coupling. I hope I have a coupling. Alright, so we gotta see if I have a coupling. Gosh, I hope I do. Alright, I surprisingly do have a coupling. I found one under the cabin. See that? Boarding stuff sometimes does come in handy. I'm gonna have to read up on whether the rest of this needs to, I can't imagine it does, but I'm gonna have to read up on whether the rest of this should be solvent welded. I mean, if this isn't, but this is, can that make much of a difference? I don't know. Also, I just read in the instruction booklet that these metal to PVC adapters are not allowed in Canada. Perfectly fine for us Americans, but sorry Canadians, I guess you cannot use those. Pipe, and the other air intake pipe will go just below it. I don't know if you can see that, but I kind of bubbled out that mesh and just clamped that there. And then with that vent, there's all kinds of things in the instructions that you have to do or can't do. It can't be within 2 feet of an inside corner. It's got to be 1 foot away from the other vent, or if it's not 1 foot away, it has to stick out 1 foot further, which is the way I'm doing it. And every scenario basically is covered in the instructions. So now we got to bring the gas up. So now we need a piece that'll be about 6 inches. I had a choice. I could either buy a die set and make a pipe the right length, or buy a coupling, and for the amount of work I do with this pipe, I just bought a coupling. So I'm going to tighten these unions before I forget, and then we'll do the water. Alright, so we're going to do the cold water first, so it's going to go from here up to the hot water heater. Alright, so we're going to make this piece that comes from our cold. It's going to go up to the shower, and then it's going to go across to the sink. So we'll use the magic hammer to make that. Alright, that's all made, so let's get it put in place. So you see why I wanted to do this. Now I only have to make one crimp in that difficult area. There, 3/4 crimp rings. There they are. 3/4 crimp ring on there. This will go up to the water heater. Okay. And so the nice thing is I don't have to put a shutoff in line because I've got one right here. And so say I want to come here in the winter and not mess with the hot water, I can just turn this thing off like that, and I won't have to have any water go in there. Okay, so on this one, when I use the magic hammer mismeasured, but you can reuse these, and I'll show you the tool you need to take these off and reuse this fitting. So we're just going to cut it down so that it lines up. Alright, so you have one of these, you crimped it to the wrong size, you want to take this off and reuse it. This is what you need right here, is this tool. It's not expensive, so the little end goes in and you just go like that, or there you go, even better, you just do it twice and it pops right open. Now I can use this fitting. You can see it's not damaged or anything. I think I can get a crimp on this with a normal crimp ring. We'll see. Alright. I got that. You can turn these after the fact. That'll line up pretty good. Probably can get that one too. Let's try it. Alright, well I think I can get this kind of crimp ring here to work, and if I can't, I've got a backup plan. Might have to block the camera though. Okay, got it. There we go. Alright. And the hot one, we may have to use the other crimper. That line goes out to where our shower will be, right there, and I'll cap that. We'll just cap that. These things are handy. I don't know exactly where I'm gonna go, so we can put those on and pressure test it. So that is our cold water to our shower. Okay, now we're gonna run our hot water. So that's to the water heater, working backwards. Now we're gonna go down and tie in with the outdoor shower and the shower, indoor shower and the sink. All right, so we're going to 2 fixtures in either direction. We're going to the outdoor shower and the kitchen sink this way, and we're going to the indoor shower and the bathroom sink this way. So I'm gonna go 3/4 and reduce at a fixture. Alright, so we need to make this piece. This is a shutoff for the outdoor shower down to the kitchen sink, so under the basement and over to the kitchen sink, and then over to the hot water heater, and then it will continue to go over to the shower and the bathroom sink. So this is probably another good job for the magic hammer. Alright, let's get this piece put into place. It's going to go right there. Lever facing up. Okay, now we need to make this. So from the hot water heater to the shower to the bathroom sink. So we use the magic hammer again. All right, let's get it in place. Ring. There we go. Might be able to. Except it's a 3/4 ring. Hold on. Alright, let's recap what we've done so far. We've only got one thing left to do really. So we've got the hot and cold water. And then both of those lines go over to the shower and the sink back there. And then this guy right here is going to have to go down into the crawl space and over to the kitchen sink. So we'll do that now. Alright, let's go see where we're working here. Alright, so the sink access is right there. I'll have to pull that panel, and then I've already got this panel is where we'll go in and hook up the water pipe that comes down and through. Alright, let's see if we can see where we have to hook up. There we go. So that's our hot water to the kitchen sink. Right about there, where that wire comes down, is where the water line will come through. We can get you a view. Oh, that's gonna be hard. This is the water line, and it needs to go where this one goes. And I got it pulled most of the way. So I just gotta get under there and just get it so that it reaches. Alright, that should be enough. And I don't think there's any way I can avoid a low spot in this line. So we'll have to put a drain, which will be a pain, but I'm gonna cheat on this. I'm gonna use the one-handed crimp ring. Oh man. Oh, nothing made a nest in there. We'll have to see. Alright, yeah. Well, we're gonna use a one-handed crimp ring. People have told me that these aren't as good. I don't know if that's true or not. But in this situation, I think it's just gonna be a lot easier. I could probably do a real crimp one, but I'd have to lie on the ground and the bugs and the mice and stuff. There you go. See that blue light? Now you. Alright, that's good. Where this natural low point is, we're going to put a T and a drain. I just fastened this off camera so I didn't have to do a crimp under here. So that line we just put in just comes down to here. We'll shut that off so we don't forget when we pressure test, which we're about ready for. Alright, back inside. So my vent piece right here, it's too short, or that's my air intake piece, so I'm gonna have to do room air today. Now we got one more crimp to do. Right here we've got to do under, you can't see it, but it's behind that pipe. Well, we're gonna go test the cold water. I'll leave the camera set up here and you'll get a great view if water comes gushing out somewhere. All right, so all our cold water lines are holding pressure, holding water. So I'm gonna reset up the camera and we'll test out the hot water lines. I guess we can plug this in. Alright, so I'm going to turn the gas back on. I need to pressure test that. It looks like our hot water lines, this is the one I was worried about, and it doesn't appear to be leaking, so it looks like all our hot water lines are good. I'm going to go run and check the one under the cabin, but probably hear the pump coming on if it was leaking. Alright, everything seems to be holding pressure. There's a couple things we can do. We can do our emergency pressure relief down to the floor level, and then the condensate drain. Alright, now that goes to within 6 inches of the floor. Okay, let's go turn on the gas. Which one is connected? They're both connected. Gas is on. Okay. Gas is on. Crack a window for safety until we pressure test it, until we use our bubbles. Alright, we can get my foamy bubbles and test for leaks. Alright, so all the new gas work, I'm just gonna use these soapy. It's all black pipe, so that stuff usually doesn't leak on me, knock on wood. And then I'm going to go back and look at this from all angles and see if it's blowing bubbles. I don't think we got anything. Alright. So just for anyone who might do this, there's dip switch settings in here for different installation scenarios. Like some of them are for altitude, some of them are for the vent method, like if you reduce vent or if you have an extra long vent run, there's different dip switches that probably change the fan power and speed or something like that. Everything that I've done is the default, but I just figured I'd let you guys know. And then right now we're going to use room combustion air. It's going to draw air from the room in because my piece of PVC isn't long enough to go outside, but when I bring another piece of PVC, my combustion air will also come from the outside. And now the moment of truth. Let's see if we have hot water. It's not hot yet. No, it's still not hot. It's warm. Yay, it's working. Whew. This is the longest run in the house to get warm water. Everything else should be pretty quick. So that's nice and warm. So that is fantastic. Wow. Actually, let's leave it running and see how much power it's taking with the exhaust blowing. Alright, it actually takes 22 watts when running. So that is really good. Alright, so let me just address briefly why I chose to go with that unit, and in particular a unit that actually does take electricity. My original goal was that anything necessary would not run off the inverter. In case the inverter failed, I would still have everything. And I kind of view hot water as a luxury item, so that kind of puts it in that class, whereas it's nice to have, but if I don't have it, I don't care. So that said, I have that unit only for natural gas in my house, and it works fantastic. It's been working for 6 years flawlessly, and I love it. So I wanted to get that unit, and I've said, all right, you know what? If I'm gonna have to use a little bit of electricity, that's not a big deal. It's a choice to use it. So to me, you know, I can just go switch on the inverter if I need to take a shower, have hot water, and just switch the inverter off if I'm really trying to save electricity. So, all right, I hope you guys enjoyed that. I will see you all in 2 weeks. And that's another topic. I'm gonna be trying to upload every other week now for personal reasons. I also want to thank everyone who's joined me on Patreon. For you guys, I should have a workshop update coming again soon. Should have some pretty big progress there. And for everyone else, thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. If you have any comments, just leave them down below.